Hi, my name is Lewzey and I am the founder of Yoga Precision, online yoga classes. I have been teaching in the San Francisco Bay Area for the last 15 years and I moved over here from London 19 years ago. Yoga has been my absolute passion for many years and I'm incredibly inspired to share it and teach it with anyone who wants to join. Now, the style of yoga that I teach is called alignment-based yoga. And my foundation of teaching comes from the Iyengar and the Anyastara styles of yoga. And we use what's called the principles of alignment to gain very skillful actions through the body. One thing I tell students all the time is yoga can either harm you or it can heal you, depending on the quality of attention that you're giving to your body within the yoga poses, right? We can all do a yoga pose, but can we really practice it with skill and integrity so that the body can transform, not just in, 6 months or a year, but actually in one class? So I'd like to take you through 3 different things that I teach often with my students that can really become transformative. The first one is actually downward facing dog. Now, everything we do in yoga is based around the alignment of the spine. So when you're practicing yoga or really any kind of exercise, if you're not aware of the natural curves of your spine, then it's going to be very difficult to actually align your spine in the proper way. Okay, so first we're going to look in downward facing dog, a pose that we've all done many times, but we're going to look at it based on the alignment of the spine. So the lower part of the spine is a concave curve, and that's called your lumbar curve. That's the main area we're going to look at as we take down dog. Okay, so I'll show you. So when you come down to your mat, you're going to start on your hands and knees, and then you'll walk your hands out in front of your shoulders, so your arms are kind of stretched out in front of you. You'll turn your hands out so the index fingers point forward, and then claw the mat with your fingertips and your index finger knuckles and thumb mounds. Now before you lift your knees, you're going to tuck your toes and press the top of your inner thighs back, so you already begin to get this natural lumbar curve, right? The lower back starts to go in more, so it feels like you're taking your spine more towards a back bend direction. Now maintaining this curve in your spine, you're going to lift your knees very slowly and you're going to keep your knees bent. So I'm going to show you very quickly what we often do without realizing it in the pose, is we straighten our legs way too fast, and then it sometimes looks like this, where I'm rounding my back. See, I have no natural curves in my spine. So I'm going to bend the knees again to cut out the tightness in the hamstrings, so I can then press the top of my thighs back, keep the armpits lifting, and then feel the alignment of the spine. It's like an unraveling of your spine. Now once you've maintained that action in your spine, then you can start to press the top of your thighs back very slowly without rounding in your lumbar spine. The moment you feel like you're rounding there, then you've gone too far. So you just back off and really take the time to honor your body. In yoga, we're not here to force the body to go where it's not ready to go. We're here to tune in, to pay attention, and let the body lead the way. So now we're going to come forward to plank pose and lower all the way down. And I want to teach you a few actions in cobra pose. So often in cobra, it might look something like this. And when I'm teaching, I love to show what not to do first, so you can really get a clear visual, okay? So often in cobra, it tends to look something more like this. We're just lifting from the head, we're crunching the neck back, and then we just get stuck in the back, okay? There's no core engagement, no leg engagement. So now I'm gonna have you place your hands next to your chest and rest the forehead down. And the first thing you're gonna do is turn the top of each thigh in and press all your toenails down into the floor. Keep that inward rotation of the top of your thighs and then lengthen your shoulders, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Now as you shrug your shoulders, you're then going to lengthen your tailbone down and start to lift yourself up slowly. Now as the tailbone lengthens, your low belly starts to draw back. You've got more core engagement. Then the ribs draw back and the shoulders move back without pulling the shoulders down, and then slowly lift the head. Noticing how much more freedom that gives you as you come up. So it feels more like a ripple effect through your spine. Let's do it one more time. So inwardly rotate the thighs, press your toenails down, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, draw them back, glide your tailbone down, try to peel your low belly off the mat first, then your ribs, then your chest, and then your head. The last thing to come up. And then slowly come on down and rest. Rest your forehead on your hands and take a pause. And then place your hands and push on up. Now the last thing we're going to look at is a little bit more of a passive exercise, which I really love to begin to open up the psoas. Now our psoas muscle attaches on our lumbar spine, and it goes through the pelvis to the insides of your thigh bones. It is the deepest muscle in the body, and it's the only muscle that attaches the upper body to the lower body. So it takes the brunt of so much, and it's often the place that contracts when we go into fight or flight mode. So this next exercise is a really great way, a very passive way to soften and begin to release and unwind your psoas. So you'll need a block and you'll lay down on your back. You'll set up with your knees bent as if you're going to take a bridge pose. Now this can feel quite intense, so just knowing that, you're going to take it very slowly. The other option, if a block feels too much, is to do a blanket roll. Okay, you can start with that if this feels too much. Now you're going to lift your hips, put the block on the medium height, and slide it underneath, not your sacrum, but actually higher up on your lower back. So it's just above your sacrum. Now you're going to very slowly and carefully let your pelvis start to release down. Let the weight of your back start to release down over the block. Open your arms out with the palms turned up and gently tuck the shoulders underneath the back. Now the feet are parallel. The top of your thighs are gently turning in, and your inner hips, your groin, your sit bones are releasing down. Let your eyes close and gradually feel the weight of your back releasing more and more. So any resistance that might be there, slowly and gradually is beginning to unwind. Use your breath. Continue to tune in to the sensations. It almost starts to feel like an unclenching, right? An ungripping of this part of the body. Especially after this last year or so, we've all been carrying so much tension with us. So it's time to release it out of the body. Now you can stay in this for as long as it feels good, as long as you feel like you're getting that deep release. And then you can slowly lift up, taking the block away, And just settle there without much movement. As you bring your pelvis down, just settle there. Place your hands onto your belly and breathe.